Downtown Fargo, where culture, creativity, and community collide. You've heard the headlines. Now hear what's really happening. Bringing the best of Broadway direct to you. The stories, the people, and the places that make downtown the heartbeat of our city. This is Rocky's Downtown Hour with Rocky Schneider.
Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're out there watching your feet, doing the penguin walk because it's slippery out there. But fortunately, this weekend, Sunday, it's supposed to be 60. And so I think we look ahead to spring. We got a lot of activities planned in downtown, and we got a couple great guests on the show today to talk about that. The Fargo Theatre, the one and only, is turning 100. Doesn't look a day over 29, but it's 100 years old. Just got a nice sort of facelift, I guess, on the inside. New seating. But they're having a couple of big events coming up, and we're going to talk with Emily and Danielle later in the show. Also today is Employee Appreciation Day, so if you haven't gone out and thanked everybody for making this world go round, please get out and thank your employees. Take care of them every day, not just today, but it's a good day to remind everybody of that. Thanks to Sarah and Isabella back in the office for all they're doing. Just really appreciate every day showing up and put in their effort into making downtown a place for everybody to enjoy. And we get about 600,000 visitors to downtown every year, and different people that come and check out the region, Fargo. I think when you come to town to make an investment for a conference, tourism, to see if you want to move here, to visit a friend. We saw that the Visit Fargo Moorhead annual meeting last week or 2 weeks ago now, they said the number one place visitors go is downtown Fargo. And so we're happy to welcome them, the sort of front door to the community. And, of course, the light on above our porch of our front door is the Fargo Theatre, most photographed place in the state. You can come down anytime and see it lit up, take your pictures. But feel free to stop in there as well and enjoy what they've done. And they're working to make it better to last for the next 100 years. It's excited about that. Big day today, too, if you paying attention to the convention center discussion. It's sort of the biggest decision our city's going to make in a while. Our voters passed a 3% lodging tax last year to put in a convention center, and the city commission will make a decision here in the next couple of weeks. But I think the interviews are today, and I think on Monday. You can watch them on YouTube or go live at the city hall. They start at 2 today. The downtown convention center is going to be around 3 o'clock for their final interview and proposal. I saw some of the pictures they had in their proposal, and it looks pretty cool. It's on the Civic Center site, so it's a good reuse of property, but it's not just making the Civic Center, lipstick on a pig. It's redoing the Civic Center completely. Looks beautiful. They have incorporated a lot of history into their design. They use a design of the old railroad bridge to kind of incorporate that into the architecture, and it looks really nice. And it's obviously a needed facelift for that area of Civic Plaza there downtown. And I hope that's the solution that's picked. I mean, I keep asking people, if tourists are telling us that downtown is the number one place they go when they visit here, why would we put a convention center anywhere else? Why are we trying to tell tourists they're doing it wrong? They tell us they want to go downtown. Let's keep that and build on it, leverage that to the benefit of everybody. We already got parking ramps in place with plenty of room. Revenue goes back to the city, so it's fiscally smart. We got amazing amenities along the riverfront that no other location has in town. We don't have a lot of natural geographic features in Fargo that we can really enjoy, but that riverfront trail is amazing. I know if I was a tourist and I was going out for a walk, a run, rent a bike, those sort of things at a conference, which I often do when I go someplace to kind of visit and get a little workout in, going on that river trails, you'd be like, wow, this is cool. It's something you'd post about, go say nice things about, come back, visit later. That's the experience we want people to have. Convention centers aren't about concerts. It's not like a Fargo Dome type thing. It's not a concert venue. It's a convention center. And so it's all tourists, all outside money, and we want to show off our community. And part of showing off community is getting to spend as much as possible so that our economy does well here as well and get that return on that taxpayer investment. And so you want them to be able to walk to something. I was at a conference this week in San Antonio and never left a couple block radius of where I was. Had to go to Walgreens twice, walked across the street to that, went out to a couple restaurants and bars around there, went to Starbucks across the street, a coffee shop, saw the Alamo, which was cool for the first time. But you want to have all that cultural stuff, all the food, all the shops, with within walking distance. So you can go between sessions at a conference. You can go out without having to spend a lot of time. You want other meeting rooms around to have, your time with other clients or other convention goers. So hopefully the downtown option looks good today. It'd be interesting to see their presentation. It's going to be on YouTube. That's probably where I'll watch it if I'm not there in person. But you can watch them after the fact, too. I know the city also has a survey that they're asking people to fill out. I know it seems like there's always a survey to fill out, but there's 4 locations for the convention center that they're considering. It goes beyond just the location, too. I know they have to look at the design, the partners, all those things. But location is one that people can get their head around, and they're asking people to fill that out. So if you haven't weighed in on it, it's a good chance to weigh in on it. If you haven't just written to your commissioners, please take the survey. I think it's on the city's website right now. I'm sure you can Google it, too, Convention Center Committee. They're doing a good job. It's been a long process, and I'm sure they're ready to pass on a recommendation as well. Excited about that. And so we have, in addition to Fargo Theatre coming up next weekend and their 100-year anniversary, we have the St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 14th. So if you're looking for something fun to do next weekend, it's free. Looks like the weather is going to hold up, be pretty nice. Still springtime, so it's, probably cold in the morning, decent during the parade, and you just never really know what happens. So bundle up, come downtown. We're going to have a race this year ahead of it, too. And Every Run Day Events is our partner on that, and they're doing a 5K and a 10K, and they're still taking sign-ups. So if you want to do a race and then come back around and grab a drink, grab something to eat, watch the parade, we still have I don't know when our cutoff is for floats, but we still have openings for floats, too. So if you want to get together a group of friends, your business, community group, church group, sports group, cultural group, feel free to contact us, downtownfargo.com. You can find how to register a float for the parade. It's a pretty it's easy process to sign up. You come and walk in the parade. It takes, a couple hours, maybe 2 hours from lining up to through the parade, but you get to see a couple thousand people, hand out stuff about your business, or just see the smiles on the faces. I mean, the thing I love about parades is they're free. It's good for everybody. Come down with your kids, get them outside, enjoy spring, get some free candy, see people just light up. I mean, that's the best part about parades is there's no controversy, just happiness, people outside having fun. We're going to have a band at Broadway Square before the parade, during the race, and they're going to be playing music everybody loves and just kind of rev up the crowd, and looking forward to that. But the St. Patrick's Day Parade is always great. You see our first responders out there. We'll have Heather and Thistle out there with their drums. We have bagpipers, a lot of green, obviously, but we have different cultural groups, and it's springtime, so people just want to get outside. It's a reason to get outside, kind of put the cold winter behind us, these icy days behind us, and celebrate our community as we look forward into the summer, our favorite months. So again, make sure you thank your employees, thank your coworkers, thank people you work with. They make the world go round every day. They're our second families that we probably spend more time with than our pets and our friends and everything else. And so I know they all mean a lot to each other. They mean a lot to me, and thanks for everything they do. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Emily and Danielle from the Fargo Theatre. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. We're here talking with the Fargo Theatre, who turns 100 years old next week. We have Emily and Danielle here to talk to us about the theater.
Hi, Rocky.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm excited because I love the Fargo Theatre. I always say, downtown's the front door to our community, and the theater's the light on above the porch, welcoming everybody. And I love walking up and down Broadway and seeing how many people are there taking pictures every day. And especially when they have their marquee named after them, it's like the big highlight. I know all my wedding pictures, they have the Fargo Theatre in the background. And so it's everyone's a patron if one way or another. Mm-hmm. I call it the most photographed place in the state. Nobody's told me I'm wrong.
Forum Communications at least said we were the most photographed place in the metro. I know that much.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah, it has to be. I don't know where else would be. We'll take it. Until somebody proves me wrong, that works. Nobody has data on those things, so you can kind of say whatever you want.
We'll claim the title.
Yeah.
We're making it a fact right now.
Yeah. Okay, so March 15th is the official day.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It's the theater's official centennial 100th anniversary.
So is that when doors first opened?
Yes.
What was the first act at the Fargo Theatre?
The very first movie we ever showed, and it did start with a movie, was a short silent comedy called The Man on the Box. and it starred Sid Chaplin, who was Charlie Chaplin's brother, who was also an actor.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You should post that on Facebook, because I imagine it's not that long of a movie back then, or was it?
No, I think it was maybe a 2-reeler, 10 minutes, probably. Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it worked. Was it a full theater? I'm curious. Was it big fanfare when it opened?
Ooh, I've never seen attendance numbers from opening day, but I know it was a big deal in the community because we've seen a lot of press coverage from back then, and people were so excited. One of the things they included in all of the advertising at the time was that the Fargo Theatre included all of the air conditioning that you could wish to soak in, which maybe in March wasn't as appealing, but I know it was a very exciting amenity at the time.
Okay, I'm going to throw one gotcha question at you.
Oh, okay.
When did popcorn become synonymous with movie theaters?
I actually heard a podcast about this recently.
Oh, yes.
And
see, that's why you bring the smart one with, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Danielle.
It would help if I actually remembered what they said, but they talked about different cultures and how in other countries you don't eat during the movies, and it's considered rude. But it obviously is a staple in the U.S. I do not remember.
Okay.
It had something to do with, corn.
So I just looked it up, and right away, because it is a messy thing, right? And it's you have to clean up every time. But apparently it was a Great Depression thing. Mm-hmm. It was a really cheap food option in the 30s.
Sure. People were going to a lot of movies in the 30s.
Yeah.
If I remember my history of film class correctly, I think the average American was going to the movies 4 or 5 times a week during the Depression.
Okay,
That
so
sounds
back
amazing.
to 100 years. What does that mean? What does that mean to you because you've been there over 10 years now, Emily?
Yeah, it'll be 17 this summer.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. It means the world. Oh, my gosh. It means so much to us that we have been supported by this incredibly generous community for nearly a century, and that we can keep thriving, and that we can keep bringing people together and showing movies and providing a stage for artists. And I'm just kind of bursting with gratitude these last few weeks as the reality of this milestone is setting in. It's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Thinking to the theater marquee, right? That's what people think of when they think of Fargo. Either that or wood chippers, but also movies, But how does the theater start with a marquee? I mean, most businesses did not come up with that type of branding, but that's across the country, and it means so much to small towns of all types to have that local theater, huge marquee sign. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they decided, that's what we're going to do as theaters.
I honestly don't know the history of that either. I do know that when we first opened, we were part of a small chain, Finkelstein and Rubin, and they did big marquees like that on all of their theaters, including the State in Sioux Falls. So it was part of their signature. But I don't know. Yeah, and I would be curious, too.
I just love it because it makes no economic sense to put that much money into a sign like that. And you think about all the development that's gone on, buildings burned down, torn down, turned into parking lots, built back into buildings. But that cultural icon remains. And it just shows somebody had a forethought that the return on investment worked. And so, it's art, it's a cultural icon. It's those things are worth it, even if they don't necessarily make sense to the original investor, to the community. It sure has worked out.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad they had that forethought and that they made that investment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Danielle, what's your role at the theater?
So I'm the current board president.
Yeah. That's fun. Do you get a gavel?
No, but now that you say that, exactly. I'm looking at Emily oh, okay, well, now we have to do that.
So tell us about how'd you get connected to the theater? What's the passion?
Well, I grew up in Fargo, went to high school here. I loved going to the theater all the time. I remember going downtown in the 90s, going to Zambro's, having a marshmallow milkshake, and seeing a movie at the theater. I did a lot of speech and debate, so I had friends from all the different high schools in the area, and we would all meet at the Fargo Theater. I remember watching this movie Shine with Jeffrey Rush, and I sat in the balcony, and I just had this moment. I was like, oh, my gosh, movies are amazing. This place is so cool. I, to this day, have not rewatched that movie because I don't want to ruin that memory. And then I moved away for college, lived away for 20-plus years, but every time I came home to visit family, I would always look, what's playing at the Fargo Theater, have my parents drop me off, go see whatever was showing while I was in town. I absolutely love the theater. It's a safe place. It's welcoming. It's kind of funky. There's different things to do. So when I moved back to Fargo, I was talking to friend of mine, Josh Boucher, and I was saying, like, I love the theater. And he's like, you should join the board. I was like, you can do that? I had no clue. So put me in touch with Emily, and the rest is history.
No, it's amazing. And you're a fan of movies.
I love movies.
And one thing that should be published, and I don't know if you send it to everybody at the theater, but your year-end postcard of Danielle's take on the year of movies. Yep. We should make a little award statue of the Danielle and just have it standing there.
That's a great idea, Rocky. Yes.
That's one of the favorite things that I do all year. All year I'm like, watching movies. Is this going to make the postcard? Do I have to write it down for next year? Yeah.
That's fun. So, okay. It's kind of still the beginning of the year. What's your take last year? What was your go-to movie that you recommend?
I loved Sinners.
Sinners.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Usually my favorite movie isn't such a well-known movie. It's usually a little bit more indie, but when Sinners came out, fewer people were talking about it. Now it's gotten a lot of Oscars nominations, so more people are talking about it. But I really, really loved it. There's one scene in particular that I just think you have to see on the big screen. It's just really cool.
So how scary is Sinners?
At the beginning,
I feel like it looks like a scary movie.
Yeah, there's a few very quick jump scares, not super in depth, and then I wouldn't consider the rest of the movie scary.
Yeah. I guess my favorite part about movies is how it connects generations too, and it's such good stories. And speaking of scary movies, Scream 7 is out or whatever it is, 17 or whatever number it is. But my daughter started rewatching all the Scream movies, and so I'm trying to watch them with her to catch up.
Right.
And it's fun. But I remember going to movies with my dad and Batman and Jurassic Park, and now watching with my son, it's like those are the memories you remember, and you build the storyline together.
Exactly. And it's so fun seeing young people look at things from when we were young and just their take on it these days. It's so interesting. Like, oh, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like when your kids say, oh, that movie was so predictable. And I'm like, well, it was only predictable because they've copied it 40 times since.
Right.
At the time, nobody knew Bruce Willis was dead. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's what movies are great. It gives you something to talk about. Mm-hmm. Okay. Back to the theater though. It's also recently redone, right? So what is it done, open now? Can people come in and see the new seats? Where are you at in the process?
Absolutely. So Theater 1, the historic auditorium, was closed for phase 1 of our refresh renovation project. It was closed in January and the first half of February. We reopened on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And we've been showing movies and having events and concerts and all sorts of things. This phase 1 included some beautiful new carpet, fresh paint everywhere, some electrical work, some HVAC work. And I think the thing that our patrons are most excited about is that it included new seats. Yeah. We replaced all of the seats in the historic auditorium. And I'm glad to report, at least in my personal opinion, they are much more comfy.
Mm-hmm.
The cushions are cushier. There's a little bit more room. I think it's a pretty significant improvement, and it's been really fun to watch people get excited about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My brother's 6'2". We went to a movie last weekend, and he was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. See, I never minded the ones on the main floor.
Yeah.
But I went to a movie, it's been, last year, I think, up in the balcony, and I was like, I do not fit in these balcony seats. So I'm excited to check that out because I like the balcony. I like that view of it better.
Yeah, we're the only place in town where you can watch a movie from a balcony. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, that's a neat way.
Yeah. So that's just phase 1. We have more plans. A lot more to do. It's a 100-year-old building. Needs a lot of love, but there'll be more on that coming soon.
Yeah, and so next week we have a couple big events coming up that we'll talk about when we come back. We have the soiree, the 1920s soiree. Is tickets still available? Tickets are still available for that. And then on Sunday is the big birthday celebration on the 15th. So we're excited. We'll talk more about those events when we come back with Emily and Danielle in the Fargo Theatre. Welcome back to Rocky's Downtown Hour. We're talking about 100-year-old Fargo Theatre in downtown Fargo, and the big parties are coming next week. So Emily, tell us about the soiree, which I had to learn how to spell soiree because it's got a couple interesting things going on there. It's got the little...
The accent,
and then the 2 E's. And so, yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a French word, Danielle?
It is
a French word. Yeah. So there are going to be 2 big celebrations of the theater's centennial next weekend. And on Saturday, the 14th, we'll be hosting a Roaring 20s themed soiree, a party, at Sinclair Event Center in downtown Fargo. where we're encouraging ticket holders to dress up in their finest 1920s attire. So for ladies, that's, get your flapper on. And there'll be champagne and bites and a photo booth and some fundraising games, as this event is meant to be a fundraiser for the Fargo Theatre. We're a nonprofit, and of course we need every little bit of support we can get. So this is a way for us to celebrate while also raising funds for the theater.
Yeah. So people can check out Violet Vintage downtown or Halberstadt's if they have some good bow ties.
Brilliant. I bet either of those places could get you suited up right.
Yeah.
I have an outfit picked out and tickets going. There are tickets still available, right?
There are, yep. You can check it out at fargotheatre.org.
Yeah, it's a good party. And it's also after our St. Patrick's Day parade. And so feel free to come down for the parade, go home, change, get your, I don't know, what do you say? Get your soiree on?
Get your soiree.
That doesn't really work.
No, doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it?
No. But yeah, anyways. But the soiree is going to be fun. And I was looking up what guys are supposed to wear, and it's, kind of tuxedo-ish, if, bow ties. Look like, Great Gatsby. Mm-hmm. Pull up Leonardo DiCaprio and Great Gatsby and just, aim for that.
Aim for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a high bar.
You'll fall somewhere in there. But yeah, you don't have to dress up, but it's a lot more fun dressing up. Mm-hmm. Get into character.
But don't not come because you don't want to dress up.
That's true. Okay. Do you have any interesting things on the silent auction? Like, do you have special theater memorabilia or anything?
Well, there will be some memorabilia for movie lovers in particular. We were gifted some items from the late Tom Brandau's estate. He had a collection of historic movie lobby cards from some films that you might recognize, like Star Wars. These are collector's items.
Heard of it?
They'll be on. Yeah, and they'll be a part of the silent auction.
I believe last time you were on, I tried to make you speak like Yoda, if I recall.
Oh, no. Nobody ever wants to hear me do an impression. They all kind of just sound like this.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the party and buying tickets, and you still have tickets available.
We do.
It's a great night out. And then on Sunday, the actual birthday, you have a birthday variety show. What does that entail?
So it's going to start out with a short from the 1920s. We have some MCs kind of talking about what life was like back in the 1920s. And then we'll have a program. We'll show some clips of some movies and dancing. Then we'll have actual FM ballet. We'll be dancing. Then we'll do the same thing for songs from movies. And then we have some live singers. And then we're going to end the program with we made a documentary about the history of the Fargo Theatre. It's about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
And it just talks about the whole history, and including renovations and things that that happened to the theater in the 80s. And so it's super interesting, and it'll be a lot of fun.
This is the first time it's shown?
Correct.
Publicly?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That'll be fun. Yeah. And that's a daytime showing.
It
is.
The
event.
Yes, the event on March 15th is at 2 o'clock in the
all
afternoon.
Ages?
Absolutely, all ages friendly. Yep.
Popcorn.
Oh, you know it.
And we planned it at 2 because that evening is the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, we didn't want to counteract with that. But if you come to the event on Sunday, you can fill out an Oscars ballot, and then we'll be giving away prizes to people who
that's fun.
Get the most correct guesses.
Fun downtown tie-in. I was at a conference in San Antonio this week with a bunch of other people like me that have downtowns around the country, but one of the guys was the guy who has Hollywood. That's like his downtown. So he was there, and he was a character, but it was, you appreciate when you talk to other downtowns. I'm like, well, Hollywood's a little different than ours, but a lot of the same issues and, events and challenges. His is just 24 hours a day, all day. But he said they're preparing for the Oscars, and they do a lot to try to make sure downtown still functions.
Wow, that must be absolutely wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of want to go visit and be like, oh, this is a work trip,
Right.
But yeah. So the Oscars, I don't even know. See, when I have kids, I don't get to go, I get to watch movies after the fact. It's always tough unless they're animated or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the new Avatars, I'm there, but yeah, a lot of the Oscar-worthy ones, I have to wait till we find a babysitter or kids go to sleep or they're at a friend's house or something.
The only animated that I know that's up for Best Picture Best Animated is Zootopia 2.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone seen that?
My money's on K-pop Demon Hunters. Though.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
did.
gonna
I
put
love
that in there. Yeah. Sinners broke the record Also, my favorite movie of last year, Sinners, broke the record for the most Oscar nominations of all time.
16.
Made my heart soar when I saw that. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so now I got to I got to do some research so I can win.
Yeah.
I like winning. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the prizes are going to be pretty cool, if I do say so myself.
You don't have to dress up for Sundays.
Absolutely not.
There are tickets, though?
There are still tickets available at fargotheatre.org.
Can you stop in the theater and buy tickets for both of these things, too?
Yes, whenever we're open for business, you can pop on in and get them right at the box office. Tickets for the birthday event on March 15th are $19.26. We thought we'd be a little cute.
Yeah, I like it. Even though pennies aren't a thing anymore.
Right.
But I still love it. 1926. That's a long time ago.
And something I guess I should point out, too, for the Sunday event, we're going to have a red carpet with a step and repeat. That's like the backdrop. And we're going to have students who are going to play paparazzi, so taking pictures of people as they walk the red carpet.
You know, speaking of the seats that got replaced, I bought a couple pairs. I was late to pick them up, and Danielle called me and was like, Rocky, you're supposed to be picking this up. But yeah, I picked them up, but I really want to do that during our 50th annual street fair this year. I want to find the right spot to make like the Instagrammable moment with the theater in the background, and we can kind of call it out and have them sit there. I haven't figured out how to make that work yet, but I might put a little stage or something they can sit on. So anyways, there's something fun we can do.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will be willing to help me out with that. But I thought it'd be fun because everyone tries to take a picture with the background. And at street fair, it's a little tricky because like you got a lot going on in the street. And so if I can find a way to get that picture taken, it would be kind of cool. It's a lot of people come to town just want to celebrate it. So okay, in addition to the 100 year, what other events do you have coming up at the Fargo Theatre?
The Film Festival.
Ooh, yeah.
Starts March 17th, so right after our birthday. We have over 100 films. I'm looking at Emily because she knows more about this than I do.
Wow.
A lot of shorts. And I love movies, and I lived in Boston for a long time, and I would always see like Boston Film Festival, and I just thought, oh, that's for film lovers, like film people, like people in the industry.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really for the community. So come out to the film festival. It starts Tuesday afternoon, runs until Saturday evening. Movies every day, all day. Short documentaries, short features, narrative features, animation. We have a new category this year. What's it called?
Northern Plains Voices, that celebrates films that were either made in our region or by people originally from the region. Just a way to lift up those local or regional artists by showcasing their work. And
you don't have to come to the whole festival. If you have an afternoon off, come by, see if
that's what I was going to ask. So give an overview, because you said it's for everybody. Like, but if I'm, Joe Schmo out there here, 100 movies, like I don't know how to do that. Like, do you just show up anytime? Do you buy a ticket at any time? Is it buy one ticket, you can go to anything? How does that work?
We try to offer something for everybody. There are quite a few people that buy our like big kahuna pass that covers everything, and they literally stay with us for the full week, and they watch a gazillion movies, and they do everything. Most people just come to one or two screenings, so you can buy a ticket just for maybe one night or one afternoon or one morning session. And if you're not sure what you might be interested in, I would recommend checking out fargofilmfestival.com. There's a complete program where you can read through, like, let's say you really love comedies and you want to look for a comedy, you can do that. I should put in a quick plug because tickets are almost sold out. Plug/warning. One of the highlights of this year's festival is we get to be the worldwide theatrical premiere of Josh Tramel's new film, Preschool. It's a comedy feature. Josh stars in it. He directed it. And after we show the film during the film festival, Josh will appear live on stage to do a Q&A about the experience. And he'll also receive our festival's top honor for all of his contributions to film through the years. And when I just left the office, we had 13 tickets left for that.
Oh, wow.
So if you think you might be interested in seeing Preschool with Josh Tramiel on Wednesday, let's see, that would be March 18th at 7 o'clock, I would recommend buying your tickets immediately. We expect that to sell out probably today.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear things sell out, that's amazing. And I'll just go back. Obviously, I represent downtown, and we love when the Fargo Theatre sells out. You were at our meeting the last week we had with a bunch of restaurants because there's such a tie between our economy downtown, and it's like when people go to a movie, they likely spend money somewhere else, right? Not nobody. A lot of people don't just go to a movie. They come out and they get appetizers first. They go to dinner first or go to dinner after. They stay for drinks after. They make those connections. So it's all about It's all about our community in downtown.
Truly, it is.
You all help each other.
We do.
So working together is part of what we do.
We love that.
We share customers, share the visitor experience, share parking spots, all those things.
Well, I don't know about that. No.
Yeah.
No, we do. We do.
Well, that's exciting. So what Fargo Film Festival, how much is a ticket if you just want to go for a night? Do you know?
It ranges.
Yeah.
We have a whole variety of tickets and passes. The most affordable pass would be $11 for morning or afternoon, and then it ranges to that big kahuna pass that I mentioned, which is $175. So there's a million price points in between, but everything from affordable to, take the week and spend it with us and come to the parties and have a lot of fun.
Okay, before we go to break, tell us about 100 years. What does 100 years mean to you, and what do you expect out of the next 100 years?
I think 100 years is so kind of awing. I was thinking about this. I looked this up yesterday. So Fargo was incorporated in the late 1800s. It's been around for a little over 150 years. That means the Fargo Theatre, an actual building, has been here for 2/3 of that time. It's like it's history, it's nostalgia, it's memories, it's similarities with your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. They all came to the Fargo Theatre. And it's also kind of a representation for the future, like hope, what will happen in the next 100 years.
That's great. All right, well, we're going to talk about the Fargo Theatre and their 100 years and what that means for Fargo when we come back with Danielle and Emily from the Fargo Theatre. Happy Friday, everybody. We're talking about the Fargo Theatre and their birthday celebration next weekend. There's a soiree on Saturday night, so if you're looking for a swanky 1920s party, or if you're the type of person that loves to dress up, put on, an outfit, flappers, you can probably come as a gangster if you want, but
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like going a tuxedo from classic tuxedo and bow tie is always appropriate, or just show up. That's good. You don't have to. You can look at everybody else drinking champagne with their pinky up and having a good time. Or on Sunday, there's I'd say more of a family-friendly event on Sunday at 2 where you can come out and celebrate the Fargo Theatre as well. Get, tickets, $19.26 for the price, and go to Fargo Theatre, the website, and get it. But we're here. We have Danielle Erdman, the president of the board, and Emily from the Fargo Theatre, and we're talking about what it means to our city. You have 80,000 people that come through there in a year.
Yes, we do. We are so fortunate to welcome that many folks through our doors every year, and for such a wide variety of events, whether movies, festivals, lots of live events, concerts, live comedy, performances by local groups like the FM Symphony, the FM Opera, the FM Ballet. We do a little bit of everything, and we feel really fortunate to have that foot traffic. And of course, a lot of those are visitors to our community, alongside of our residents too.
Yeah, we call it a movie theater, but it's way more than that. You have a lot of your comedy shows do really well. Obviously, the Blenders, you had 8 shows of the Blenders or something like that all sold out. We had our Miss Downtown pageant there. I got to be a pageant judge for the first time. That was really an interesting experience.
I love that because I've been with the theater for quite a number of years now, but it seems like every year we do something new, and that was something new for us, and that was really exciting.
Yeah. And we're getting there for confirmation, but I think April 21st, I'm going to co-host a mayoral debate there. And so it's not officially on the schedule yet. We're getting there. But yeah, so for Fargo's going to have a new mayor for the first time in a decade. And so we'll have all the candidates on stage and working toward that. So looking forward to that. I mean, where else we want them to be to talk about Fargo and what it means and the history, and looking forward. Have a vision, hopefully.
Oh, they will. And we're very proud to host that.
Yeah. Okay, so 80,000 people. How do you, do you track the economics of that? Because you go to a movie, you spend $20 or whatever, but they probably spend a lot more going out, because nobody goes out and just spends $20 anymore.
Yeah, so we don't personally, but there are organizations like the North Dakota Council on the Arts that commission studies of the economic impact of the arts. And it's outstanding. And they do that right within our communities. It's not like big national numbers.
Right.
So they do that, and it's fascinating to see. My goodness, the exact statistic is escaping me, but I know it's more than $23. I want to say it depends on where the person is from, but I think it's $23 to $24 that the average person spends in addition to the cost of the ticket whenever they go to an arts event in North Dakota. So that is, that's going out for dinner that is going for a cocktail after a show. Maybe in some cases it's even getting a hotel room. But the arts have a pretty big economic impact, especially in our downtown community, for sure.
Can you tell from ticket sales on how many people are, from Fargo versus not? Do you guys track that at all?
It depends on what the event is. And sometimes our renters do their own ticketing, and so we wouldn't necessarily be privy to all of that. But for some of our concert sales and our movie sales, especially if they're purchased online, if somebody buys a movie ticket at the door with cash, no. But sometimes with online stuff, we can see. Yep.
Yeah, people always underestimate the tourism aspect in Fargo, but tourism's a huge business. And it's great because it's all out of city money or out of the region money sometimes. And it's like, that's what you need. You need that new economic money coming to your town. You can't just all pass money around, all sell insurance to each other. I heard somebody describe Fargo once as, it was a farmer that was like, oh, that's just where everybody sells insurance to each other. They don't actually make anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe fair, but yeah. Yeah, tourism's great that way.
We're very fortunate. The film festival has really begun to generate quite a bit of visitors, regular attendees from outside of the community. So that's great.
So Danielle, where do you go from here? Because if you're starting your term as president of the board with all these festivities, what do you do the rest of the year?
Well, we have big plans to celebrate the centennial the full year. So we have a lot more things that will be announced next week and then the following weeks. So I'm not going to give it away just yet. So stay tuned to our socials next week. You'll hear more.
So tell us, because you talked about growing up and making those memories as kids at the Fargo Theatre. What do you do for kids now? How do you make sure that the next generation falls in love as well?
I don't have kids, but I have nieces and nephews in town. I bring them to the Fargo Theatre all the time. In fact, I think they sometimes kind of say no to my FaceTime request because they know I'm probably going to ask them to come to the Fargo Theatre. In the fall every year, we do a cat video film fest.
Yep.
It's literally like an hour and a half of YouTube clips of cats. It's amazing. My niece and I go every year, just eat popcorn and watch these cats on like that you would see on your phone. It's amazing. And then you get to do it in community with a whole bunch of people and little kids laughing and parents gawking. It's a really great event.
That's really fun. Mm-hmm. I know you guys do your elf event in the holiday season too, and you have kids. What's your kids? Oh, I should have looked it up. Kids Flicks or?
Oh yeah. Kids Flicks is one of my favorite things we do all year. That's in the summer, and we do new release and classic kids movies. We do them in Tuesdays, June, July, and sometimes into August. And the whole point of the series is to make it accessible and affordable for everybody, so we keep the tickets at $3 a person.
No, that's great, because you look at everybody who, around the town right now that gives back to our community, and it's because they have some roots or tied to it because of their growing up. And so it's so important to build those in our, establish that in our kids too, what community means, and make those memories so they keep giving back for the next generation. As well.
Agreed. For instance, we're showing the film Best in Show, the comedy that stars the late, great Catherine O'Hara next week. And one of our colleagues, Karen, had the brilliant idea of welcoming in Homeward Animal Shelter for that. So now at the screening, they're going to have adoptable dogs in the lobby. And they might be up for some special awards, those dogs. So anytime that we at the Fargo Theatre can find ways to partner and give back a little bit, we're really excited about that. We've gotten a lot from this community. So we're always on the hunt of ways we can continue to give back.
Okay, with our last minute, I like to ask people, give a shout out to share some love with something else going on downtown that you just love to do or go to eat or see or shop that you're not connected with. So Danielle?
I love the elk burger at Toasted Frog.
Oh, elk
I'm going to have it tonight.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I might just happen to eat at Little Brother once a week.
Yeah, it's so good.
Little Brother right on Broadway. Huge plug for them. Excellent, affordable, fast, delicious.
Yeah, Little Brother is always busy, and I don't hear people talk about them enough, but they're good.
Indeed.
All right. Okay. Well, happy birthday. Go get your tickets, everybody. FargoTheater.org, and you can buy it for the soiree. I'll see you there. I'll be dressed up to the nines. You can go shopping at the nines, too. We'll plug another downtown one. But, yeah, find an outfit. Or just show up, have a great time, enjoy community, and celebrate Fargo.
Yeah. Thanks, Rocky.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show. And we'll be back next week with everybody. And look forward. Have a great weekend.